We used to think that flexible points were the pinnacle of travel rewards, but those days may be shifting.
United just made big changes that make having a co-branded card really important, and it's a trend we've been seeing a lot lately.
Today, we're breaking down what United changed, why it matters, and whether co-branded credit cards are suddenly more important than ever.
If you've always thought airline cards were a bit of a waste of time, this episode might change your mind.
Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to the Upgraded Points Podcast.
And I'm Katie, and today we have some Chase and Wyndham news, some Hyatt changes that have been much anticipated, and we are going to talk about whether or not airline cards actually make sense now. Before we get to that, don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're watching or listening, and be sure to share us with a travel-loving friend. So let's kick it off with some Chase news. What's going on, Chris?
Yes, Chase added a new transfer partner. And in the previous episode, we were talking about 2026 trends, and one of those was we're going to see more transfer partners. And right on cue, Chase added Wyndham as their fourth hotel partner. This is a 1-to-1 ratio. Chase points, just to remind you, we value them around 2 cents each, and Wyndham points around 0.9 cents each. So you're going to have to do that math, whether, trading 2 cents for 0.9 cents makes sense. I'm sure that there are cases out there that it does, because the Wyndham program is pretty simple. So it's easy to find some value in it. All the properties are going to fall into one of three categories, and they are a fixed rate. So it's either going to be 7,500 points, 15,000 points, or 30,000 points. The portfolio has some basic options, but they also have some pretty decent ones. Upscale brands like their a Registry Collection, Trademark Collection, Wyndham Grand, and Wyndham Ultra, which is all-inclusive brand. So yeah, that's great news. Speaking of Wyndham, Citi is also running a 25% bonus over there. So Wyndham is having a little bit of a moment right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a program I've not used before, but I do think there's probably some nice sweet spots in those higher end properties.
Yeah.
So new transfer partners are always good news. So we have some Hyatt news, and kind of funny enough, there was a spoof going around. What was that, last week, Chris?
Yeah. Scary.
Where there was, some leaked news, and everyone kind of freaked out. And then it turned out the leaked news was like a college kid doing a project for school, which was hilarious. Loved it.
Love that. Thanks a lot, pal.
But it kind of makes you wonder, does that college kid know something? Because we did get some Hyatt changes right after that. So let's go over the actual confirmed Hyatt changes. This is not speculation. This is straight from Hyatt, not some college kid on Reddit. All of these changes start in May, so we have a little bit of time to get used to them. The good news, Hyatt is maintaining a published award chart with fixed point thresholds.
Okay.
The bad news is that the award prices are increasing. So they're sticking with their normal 8 categories, which is what they have now. And we're not including all-inclusives and all that other stuff, just the main award chart. But instead of the peak, standard, and off-peak pricing that we've seen in the past, they're going to have 5 categories within each tier. So they'll have lowest, low, moderate, upper, and top. Just, I don't know, that makes me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's stretching that, what are they called, the bands in each category. So yeah, it's not quite dynamic, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it kind of is. So the lowest category 1 you'll see ever is 3,000 points, which is actually a little bit lower than what we have now.
Mm-hmm.
But the highest category 8 will go up to a maximum of 75,000 points, which is massive. The most expensive redemption in that category 8 at 75,000 points is 67% higher than the maximum right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
So they can package it however they want, but it really feels like it's dynamic pricing disguised as an award chart. And even they said in their press release that this new chart will, quote, help to manage peak demand more precisely by reducing the need for broad increases or major category shifts in the future, which just feels like it's dynamic pricing packaged up with a pretty bow. So I don't know how I feel about that. But
I know. And I get it. I mean, we all get it.
Yeah, we get it.
Especially us when we try to take advantage of those really expensive hotels with these fixed prices. We know we're getting a good deal because maybe the hotel isn't. So I'm not super surprised. It's obviously sad. I don't want to see this happen, but
Right.
I mean, Hyatt was the lone holdout. I guess Wyndham too with fixed pricing choice as well.
Yeah. But it wasn't all bad news. We did have a few good nuggets of information come out of this. So let's look at those. Free night certificates are going to continue working just as they do now. So those category 1 to 4 and 1 to 7, and then they have that one that's like 1 to 8, any hotel, even at that top pricing. So in a way, those free night certificates are actually gaining some value because you can use them even at that very tip top award level for either category 1 to 4, 1 to 7, or whatever you have. So that's good news.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They can't be topped off. I was really hoping they'd add that.
Yeah. When I saw that Reddit thread, I was like, yes, finally.
I know.
Oh, well.
I thought the same thing. But at least I like that those free night certificates still have some really good value. They are also adding the ability to share points online. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Finally. So that's excellent news. And then lastly, elite members and Hyatt cardholders will get early access to award availability. We don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but that could be a really nice perk for either elite members or credit card holders. And then we actually mentioned this last week. They usually come out with their award category changes in March. They did say that those will be announced in April this year.
Okay. Yeah. Fingers crossed for your Andaz and Savannah.
I know. I keep waiting. I mean, an Andaz at category 4. Come on. Although now who knows how much it's going to cost. I have to look at the chart, but it could be a lot.
Yeah.
So they can just leave it at category 4 and still
just charge as much as they want.
Charge 20,000 points extra. Yeah. But let us know what you think. I would love to hear, your thoughts. Do you like this change? Are you done with Hyatt? Let us know. podcast@upgradedpoints.com. We always love to hear from you. So let's jump into our main segment, Chris. What is going on? We've got some United news and then sort of a broader trend that we want to take a peek at.
Yeah. So it was kind of a nice segue because you mentioned at the end there that Hyatt was going to be adding award availability for card holders or expanded award availability. And United recently made some announcements along those same lines. So the announcement was pretty important. We'll go over briefly the changes. But yeah, this is a topic we did briefly discuss, and then we actually got a nice follow-up email. Katie, you want to read that one?
Yeah. I loved the timing of all this. It just was perfect with our episode last week and the United changes and that little bit about Hyatt cards. So I love everyone helping us make our job easier. So yeah, we got an email from Katie. This was not me. This was another Katie, I promise.
Use a fake name, Katie. Come on.
I know. That would be a really bad way to send in a fake email. Anyways, Katie emailed us and said, as a non-elite MileagePlus member, is it worth it to sign up for a credit card to unlock the miles after their new change? Personally, we do book basic economy tickets, so the loss of those miles would be the most significant. We would otherwise be putting those United purchases on a Sapphire Reserve. Thanks for helping us understand the points world so we can optimize. Cheers, Katie. So, Chris, let's maybe start just with a quick reminder of what those United changes were so everyone's on the same page with Katie's question.
Yes, good idea. So starting April 2nd, United MileagePlus credit and debit card holders will have the ability to, quote, earn up to twice as many miles as non-card holders, regardless of elite status. But that means mileage earnings will be reduced for customers without a United card by up to 2x per dollar. Right now, through April 2nd, a general member with no status or card earns 5 miles per dollar. That will go down to 3 miles per dollar on April 2nd. You'll only earn miles on basic economy tickets if you have elite status or a credit card. And just to note that United MileagePlus debit rewards card and United Gateway card unlock card member earn rates after spending $10,000 on the card within a calendar year. I'll just read these and we'll put them on screen as well. If you have you're a general member with United MileagePlus, you earn 3 miles per dollar. Card members get 6. And then MileagePlus playing with the United card will earn 8 to 10. And then that will go up based on your status level. So then it goes from 3 to 5 for the MileagePlus members. Card Plus goes from 6 to 8, and then goes all the way up to 8 to 12, and that jumps all the way up to 14 to 16 miles per dollar if you're a Premier 1K member. We'll drop all this in the show notes as well. So this is kind of bad news for those of us. I don't have a United card, or people that like to book basic economy. But those who do have a United card holder, a card like Katie does, you will get access.
It's purple. I have to have it. I like fly United maybe once a year, but I have this card.
All right, folks. So that's a great tip for any issuers listening. If you could just customize the color of your card, you may be able to get a couple more signups.
I need that Delta Reserve too. I don't have
that's
that
a good
one, but
one.
I need
That's
that
a
one.
pretty one.
Yeah.
All right, so Katie and other card holders will get access to special inventory on United's lowest price award seats. That's a pretty big deal. You will be able to share your rate with your kids. So you just need to link your child's MileagePlus account to share your card member earn rate and discounted flight pricing. I love that. And then United card holders also get at least 10% off every United flight award ticket that they book. Premier members who have an eligible card will get at least 15%. And so this is very similar to some trends that we've seen, especially with Delta Sky Miles cards as well.
Yeah, that's a great perk that can save you a lot of money. We have a Delta card in my family too, even though we rarely fly Delta, but just we fly just enough and I book enough mileage tickets that discount makes the card worth it, even without taking into account some of the other discounts and perks, not all discounts. But so let's go back to Katie's question. So as someone who does not have United status, is it worth it to get a credit card now, especially for those of us who are booking basic economy tickets? Does it make having a credit card sort of important, even if you're only flying maybe a couple times a year? And I would say, yeah, I think for a lot of us, if you're buying basic economy, let's say you're flying United a couple times a year, buying basic economy, and you do find value in United miles, and if you're buying cash tickets, you probably are, you're collecting miles and they do have value. I do think it could be a good idea, especially considering a lot of these cards come with benefits that make the card easy to keep year after year. When you're trying to book award flights, you're going to have access to extra inventory and a discount, which is huge. And the one thing I do want to say to Katie is, so yeah, I would say get a United card. That makes sense for you. I would still recommend paying for your United tickets with that Sapphire Reserve card. The reason being, with the Sapphire Reserve, you're going to earn 4 transferable points per dollar, which you can transfer to United if you want to. With the United cards, you can earn as few as, I think, 2 to 4 is most of the cards in that range. You will also have better travel protections with the Sapphire Reserve card. So the takeaway here is you don't have to use the United card to buy your tickets. You just have to be a card holder to unlock that ability to earn miles on basic economy tickets.
That's a good point. And I will just give a counterpoint, though, because I was remembering this as you were talking. Some cards, so if you're flying basic economy and you want those checked bags, don't you need to pay with that card?
Yeah, that's
so
a really
in that
good
situation,
point.
yeah, that could make sense. But keep that in mind if you're checking a bag that may factor into your decision.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I know it depends on some of the cards, but I do think United is one that you have to book. So that's really that's a good point there, Chris. And I think that is a good place for us to stop for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to look at some more of these co-branded card trends within the airline card world.
Hey, real quick before we jump back in, if you're listening to this podcast, you're exactly the kind of person we built our free newsletter for.
We break down the best credit card offers, transfer bonuses, award alerts, and travel news that actually matters. No fluff, no spam, just the stuff we'd text a friend if something big dropped.
A lot of these deals we talk about on the show don't last long. The newsletter is where we flag those fast.
It's totally free, and you can sign up at upgradedpoints.com/join-newsletter.
Okay, welcome back. United isn't the only airline or travel company offering important perks and bonuses to cardholders. This is a trend that we are seeing across the board, and it's a trend that makes us ask the question, are co branded credit cards more important than ever to have? Let's take a look at some other popular cards that you may already have in your wallet or you're considering getting that are offering similar benefits. Delta has the Takeoff 15 discount, and this means pretty much Delta and American Express cards get access to a key benefit that is 15% off savings on all award flights. So that is very similar to what we saw with United, and it is a great perk, great reason to have one of these Delta American Express cards in your wallet.
Yeah, that's why I keep mine in my wallet. And when I'm booking like positioning flights from Columbus to New York a lot, and they're small, they're not expensive, but that
And
discount really
it's
adds
still
up.
worth it for you.
It's a great perk, even if
Yeah.
you fly a couple times a year.
American does not offer a strong discount, just like Delta or United does. But with the right credit card in your wallet, you can get Group 4 or 5 boarding, and that's regardless of the fare type. So even with basic economy, so that's a really nice perk to have. Especially in my family, we like to board early because we got kids and luggage and all that stuff. So it's a nice perk to have.
Oh, I do too. I love my early boarding.
Yeah.
Southwest also has a lot of really strong perks for credit card holders. And I'm actually in the position right now. I have a Southwest flight coming up in a couple months. I have no status and no credit cards right now. And it's like, I don't want to sit in the back in the middle. So maybe I'm going to get a credit card to make sure I can
With
have
a
a
one
good seat.
flight.
Yeah, no, I can't. I would stress out a little bit too much. So all Southwest credit cards come with a 10,000 point companion pass boost. So if you are even considering getting a companion pass, a credit card is really, really important for that. It allows you to choose a seat within 48 hours or at booking, depending on which card you have. Even if you book that basic fare. So you can book that cheapest fare. And if you have a card, you will be able to, at least 48 hours ahead of time, pick a seat for free, which is a huge plus.
Mhm.
And then you do get Group 5 boarding. And again, that trumps if you booked a basic or a choice fare, which usually boards, and I think it's Group 7 or 8 or 8 and 9. I forget what the new boarding groups are. So those are really solid perks to keeping a Southwest card around, even if you're only flying a couple times a year. Alaska is another one. Preferred boarding is something you get with the Alaska Airlines cards. They also come with companion tickets, and I really like this because it makes those cards easy to keep around. You're getting the value out of them, and
Yeah.
you still get those little perks. Even again, if you only fly Alaska a couple times a year, there's companion tickets on both the Ascent and the business cards, and I believe those are ones. I want to say if you spend $6,000 on the card, then you get the $99 companion ticket. Don't quote me on that. The Summit has the 25,000 point companion discount, which that's the card I have, and that is fantastic.
Yeah. That's a
Another perk for credit card holders is the waived partner award booking fees. We talk a lot about the Alaska program. They have some amazing prices for companion award tickets. We just talked, was it last week maybe? That amazing deal I found on American Airlines to Bimini. And
Right.
if you are booking that, you would have to pay a $12.50 per ticket each way fee to book with miles. But if you have the Alaska Summit card, you don't have to pay that. That's a great perk of having that card. And then the Summit card also has a $50 voucher for same-day cancellation or delays of 2 hours or more that you can use for food at the airport. This is automatic, I believe. It just kind of gets hooked to your credit card. So when that happens, it triggers as long as you've bought the flight with your credit card. I've not taken advantage of that yet, but that's just another great reason to have that card, and it makes those cards really important. So I think, all of these cards that we've talked about have certain very specific benefits that make flying on that airline just a little more comfortable, a little more, I don't know what the word is. But they also have like free check bags, like Chris mentioned earlier. Some have lounge access. Some have hotel discounts. Those Delta cards have a Delta Stays credit,
Yeah, that's right.
which I've actually been able to use. And so it really makes these cards easier to keep around and easier to justify than some other cards that I've found in the space. And again, this is all even if you only travel a few times a year. If you travel a lot, then you can easily support many of these cards,
Yeah.
and it still makes sense. I will mention this again. Sometimes it does make sense to not use these for spend. or not even for airline spend. Sometimes it does, though. So you have to evaluate each card on its own. Like that Alaska card, some of those benefits you have to book with the card. Like Chris mentioned earlier, with the United cards, you have to book to get the free bags, but you don't have to book with the card to get the extra earning on basic economy. So just evaluate each card individually, but a lot of these really do make sense now, more so than they ever have, in the last handful of years.
Yeah.
If you have any, opinions on that, let us know. Any other cards that we missed, you can always email us at podcast@upgradedpoints.com. And we actually have a question from our email that I wanted to ask to Chris here. This is from Jeff. And this one actually came in probably 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And it's just been it's been in the backlog. Sorry, Jeff. But Jeff wanted to know, will the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve ever announce transfer partners?
Well, yeah, we were waiting to answer this. We were waiting to give you an answer, Jeff.
Yeah.
But this card, the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve card, which is not open to new applicants, and they had a big devaluation in December. They were supposed to be adding hotel and airline transfer partners. The website and app had a big banner on it that said, "Coming soon, points transfer feature. We're finalizing this key feature. Soon you'll be able to transfer points to many great airline and hotel loyalty programs." Those banners are gone. And that is all we know, Jeff. So far, we don't have any news. We're not, maybe by the time this podcast airs, but I don't know.
Probably
it's not looking good. I'm not going to lie.
Wouldn't hold your breath. Don't bank on it. I don't. It's probably not worth keeping. If you have this card and you're debating whether you hold it open to take advantage of these transfer partners, I probably wouldn't, because I feel like even if they.
This is not the one with the free lounge access, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry.
That's the free card, I think.
Yeah, the 0 annual fee.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Downgrade to that card if you can. Yeah. I kind of think at this point something went majorly wrong. Or they were, kind of counting their chickens before they hatch and put all this out there without actually having something in place. I think at this point, if they do introduce transfer partners, the chances of those being very exciting are probably slim to none. So, yeah, I wouldn't bank on it, but we don't know. We will absolutely report on it as soon as we hear anything. So make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. And Chris, remind me what the URL is for people to sign up for that.
That is upgradedpoints.com/join-newsletter.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Jeff. And that's going to do it for us this week. If you have questions or comments for us, like we said, podcast@upgradedpoints.com, and be sure to share us with a travel-loving friend. And we will see you next week.